Good morning. I don't know if anyone else had problems finding the passcode. I certainly did. So thanks for getting through that hoop. Let me just tell Tim what the password is, and I will get started. I will share my screen in case nobody has access to the deck, but in the agenda, you should be able to pop into the deck, and then there's also the list of questions. We're going to take about 10-12 minutes this morning to provide an overview. Myself, I'm Michelle Hodges. I look after our channel's business here at GitLab. Ed Cepulis looks after our programs and enablement for our channel partners. And Tina Sturgis, who looks after channel marketing, is going to join us as well after I give her the password. We wanted to provide you an update. We're about a quarter and a bit in to this initiative, and we wanted to provide you an update as to our progress, some of the exciting things that have been happening. Really the theme of, a little bit of investment and focus is providing great returns, and particularly in the areas of what we call partner-initiated opportunities. That is where partners bring us net new opportunities, and really just growth and market presence. It's a longish deck, so I won't go through the whole thing. I will start here at slide 3, just to let you know that we are growing as a team. We have a couple more roles open. In fact, these 2 roles just closed on Friday evening, so we didn't get a chance to update them. But in case you're interested in who's who in the zoo, we have organized it by territory. So Chris Novello and our PubSec team, Annie Rook and our Americas team, Kevin and Sasha and EMEA, Amelia and APJ, Ed and the programs team, distribution, which in this case is a distribution channel, meaning that we sell to 2 tiers of partners, a distributor who can help us reach into the mid-market and SMB segments, and global SIs, meaning system integrators. Those might be partners like Accenture, Atos, Deloitte, some of those services-focused partners that have a global reach rather than just in territories. And we are super well supported from across the sales organization. So not everybody in channels sits in the channel sales team. Customer success, we have now 5 solution architects who help to technically enable our partner. Field enablement has Shelley, who sits with the entire field enablement team to be sure that both internally, how we enable our sales field, and then is consistent with how we enable our partner. Our channel ops team or our sales ops team supports us every day. Most of the things that Ed and Tina show you will be supported by those teams. And then Tina, who leads our marketing team, is also looking for a channel marketer. In case you want to get in touch with us, I've added our Slack channels here. Please use this as reference moving forward. I am going to, some of these things we've spoke about before in the group conversation, and if you're interested in what that 3-year vision is, I'd urge you to spend some time here. But just as a quick reminder, the play here is simultaneously sales capacity and services capacity. To be able to boost the efforts of our sales organization to identify net new customers, as well as to reach in and build stronger relationship in our existing customers. And then secondly, to provide services, advisory, consulting to our customers to help them get more value from the GitLab platform and solutions. So big focus on enabling our partners to provide services to drive adoption, usage, renewal along the DevOps journey. I'm going to pop down to slide 10 real quickly. This is kind of a little bit of an eye chart, but did want to give you a feel for what we now know. We now know that in the first quarter 7.6% of our business was walked through the front door by partners. Partner found a customer or found a new opportunity in an existing customer. Most of that is in our enterprise business, though growing in our commercial segments. We have a forecast for 8.1%. This will edge up a little bit over time for Q2. Now, we set ourselves with a goal of exiting the fourth quarter at 10% of our business being impacted or being brought to us by partners, and wanting to grow that to 30% in FY22. We should be on track to do that. As this is looking, I suspect we'll land somewhere around 15% for the end of the year. And that will come through some of our stronger channel markets. So our public sector team has been investing in channel for well over a year now. 100% of their business is transacted through the channel. And so we know that about 25% of their business comes from the channel. EMEA and APAC are traditional channel markets. Where we really need to do work, as you can see, is in the Americas segments and in the mid-market. There's a little bit more information on slide 11 about some services wins and how we're seeing our partners investing in GitLab have already created GitLab skills and experience or are investing in training to move forward. And so we have some iterative milestones that we're checking each quarter to make sure that we're driving that progress. And then slides 12 through 14, I'm not going to go through these, but we're super proud as we start to see partners creating practices that are dedicated to GitLab or launching white papers or hosting webinars for 30, 40 customers. We are noting them down. And so we keep adding to this every day. You know, a really exciting one here in the Americas is somebody like a Worldwide Technologies. It's a very large partner that is both a fulfillment reseller partner and provides services, has lots of influence amongst our enterprise customers and our upper mid-market customers. And they have, in the span of really one quarter, signed a contract and launched their GitLab practice in what they call the Advanced Technology Center, the ATC. That's a pretty fantastic investment. And great recognition from them. Now I'm going to now pass off to Ed. Ed, you want to take 5 minutes and talk about some of the growth that we've seen in the program?
Yeah, and I'd also like to kind of foreshadow a few things that we're working on as well. So, you know, as we look at the program, you know, one of the biggest changes and the things we've had to implement is the new discount structure. So we've been working really closely with the sales ops team on that. You know, we've delivered the partner portal, which has you know, deal registration capabilities. So those are being brought into Salesforce, and we're working closely with the Salesforce team and sales ops to really start to automate the process to make it easy for our sales teams to manage the deal registrations, approve them, deny them, and work with the partners on the opportunities. And so that's one of the big things that we're working on. And you know, we've brought on 40 new partners so far this year, since the program launched on April 2nd, which is fantastic. And the CAMs are also working with a lot of our existing partners to bring them onto that new discount structure. So, you know, little by little, we're bringing the partners on. We're making that the standard, and then putting the automation in place. You know, the deal registration so far, we've brought in 110 deal registrations worth almost $3 million. So, you know, that's just in a little over a month. So I think it's a great start to the program, and we're continuing to engage with the partners and again, make it easy for them and for you in managing those deal registrations and opportunities. You know, we've you know, also looking at the applicants, we've had over 100 partners apply to the program. So that's another thing that we're working with. Bringing, you know, partners are coming in, they're applying to the program, and then the CAMs are working with the partners, picking the ones we really want to work with, making sure we have the right coverage, making sure that we're delivering the services capabilities we need, you know, to help grow our sales. One of the big things that we've worked on this quarter has been communication. So we launched a new monthly webinar series, which is held the first Thursday of every month. And you know, for the first one, we had you know, about a little over 80 registrants and almost 50 attendees and replays. We're going to continue to do that every single month, focusing on program updates, product updates, customer wins, alliances, things that are going to help our partners sell more. Additionally, we introduced our newsletter, which is called the Partner Flash. It's aligned really closely with our Field Flash, but it includes more partner-specific content and also, you know, includes the replay to the webinar. So we're trying to drive more visibility to that and continue the conversation with our partners. We're also going to be introducing in next month something called the Welcome Webcast. So, you know, I mentioned we had 40 new partners this month. Or sorry, in a little bit over a month. We want to have a webcast every month that just introduces them to the program, the resources, introduces them to the team, and helps them get started more quickly and ramp to revenue more effectively. So you'll be seeing that, and your partners will be seeing that starting on June 17th. And finally, the partner portal has been a big investment on our part. As I mentioned, we've had over 100 deal registrations in the portal. Our training is being driven through the portal. We've had over 50 people complete the sales training, and working really closely with our field enablement team. That sales training really is essentially the pre-work to our sales quick start. So we're continuing to work on that. We also have an SA training, which is the classroom work, and we're working closely with the enablement team on a hands-on lab to allow our partners to have more of a complete experience with the training. So more to come in that area, and then also working closely with our professional services team on services enablement training and really the services enablement program overall.
Thanks, Ed. Tina, were you able to hop on the call?
I am here.
Hi,
Okay, so I am looking at, looks like we have a couple questions, so I'm gonna pop over there. Looks like Brian May has, Brian, do you want to verbalize your question for us?
Yeah, actually, Ed just answered it, so I was just taking the notes on it. It seems like the professional services team is getting engaged with Channel to define some training to enable our partners to deliver the services. So I think we can probably move on to Brandon.
Excellent.
Sure, I will add to that just a little bit. We'll be posting, I think, Ed, on the portal this week, some guidance for our partners if they're interested in shadowing and some of our customer success content. So as we go forward, what we learn in professional services, the focus is to transfer that to our partners. So thanks, Brian. And Brandon, you have a question you want to?
Sure. Yeah, Michelle, I know you and I have had the luxury of getting to have a lot of fun conversations, but I think it would be really helpful. Context-wise, I've only gone through building a channel twice, so I have a very small section, but I know you've actually seen a whole lot of it just given your past. Maybe it'd be helpful, can you give us some context on what you see this experience you've had with GitLab vis-a-vis other places you've been, what other channel partners or channel development has looked like?
Yeah, I think it was Thursday last week. We had the WWT, the Worldwide Technologies Solution Center launch. We had SABA, which is an America's SI. We had NIIT, which is a global SI, SIGN. We had a partner in the UK called DOPS, and another one, I'm going to forget the name, host webinars all on the same day. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but I have never seen this level of interest from a channel in my career. Every time we pick up a phone to call a partner, the partner's excited, engaged, has GitLab skills already, and likely has customers. So I'm pretty pleased with the response from the channel. Now, who stays engaged and who continues to invest, that's going to be the next hurdle we get to. But when you hear things like a partner called C Prime is one of Atlassian's largest partners who wants to build their DevOps practice on GitLab. That's a pretty good sign. I think they signed the contract in Vivian the next day. They put 10 people into sales training and 6 people into solution architecture training. That's a level of interest and appetite and speed, pace that I've not experienced before. So I'm very bullish.
Thanks, Michelle.
Great. Right, Tina, do you want to cover off some high points while we're waiting for some more questions?
Absolutely, yeah. So if y'all have questions, please put it in our agenda. Just really quick, I am not going to show my screens, but on slide 24, if you take a look at that, that is really our high-level plan there. I kind of highlighted, if you've seen this before in other presentations from a channel marketing perspective, I am the one and only right now, as you saw in Michelle's presentation earlier. I do have one open headcount, so I am actually trying to take on a lot of work for Q2. We're currently in that Q2. I'm focusing mostly on content and demand gen the best that I can in those 2 areas to help out for this next quarter. We did officially launch, which I think was a huge highlight for us all, on April 21st. If you want to take a look at the overview of the coverage, and how many, we got 6 GitLab media interviews from this. We had 37 pieces of coverage. We actually were in the highlight for the CRN Daily. So lots of really good stuff came out of this, which was amazing. Again, one of my highlights here is we had 7 supporting partner quotes. So to Michelle's point about having partners engage and want to talk and help support something like a press release for us, that's a huge thing for GitLab in its entirety. So Christina Weaver and the comms team really helped us to get those, and to have those 7 supporting partner quotes from across the globe representing all regions, I thought was pretty amazing. And it really showed that the folks that we're signing on are very excited about what they're about to, kind of go into with our partnership with them. I would like to highlight on slide 27, this is what's planned and upcoming. Again, I took that content focus. All of my issues are in here, so if you want a little bit more detail about what I'm doing. I think the main point here is, again, my small and mighty team. I think that it's really helpful for you all to understand where I'm at from a channel marketing perspective. I am going to be focused mostly on what I call the trifecta of partners. That's all of our cloud and platform providers, and even some integration partners. I should have added Red Hat in here. There are new partnership that we have going on that side of the house that's really bringing a lot of activity as well with GitLab, as well as those SIs, MSPs, etc. So Second Watch, SADA, all of these are very new and signed or to be signed partners that we're working with. And it is such a natural marketing go-to-market initiative that we have with all of them when we bring them in this sort of trifecta, kind of all 3 together. So those are the highlights that I have in marketing. Did we get any questions? No.
We didn't. We've been pretty consistent with keeping folks updated, so I can understand that. With all the great news comes some iteration, right? Did just want to, for the sales folks that are on the call, we know deal reg has, we can capture the deal reg at the portal. Getting it into Salesforce has taken some work, but we are getting better at that every day. I also know the discount process. Well, for me, I get, hundreds of discounts approvals all the time in my inbox, and we were refining that on Thursday this week, so we should see that getting easier as we go forward. But the more we hear back from the field teams on feedback and suggestions on how we can make things more seamless, the better it gets. So please continue your feedback. Are there any more questions? If not, we can call it to a close. I think, Brian, are you? I don't think so. If there's no further questions, we can call it to a close, and we'll keep an eye on this for the next day if you've got questions as you dig into the deck, okay? All right, everyone have a great week. Thank you.
Bye.